Before heading up front in the all-new Armada, we have our Nissan key fob here. Again, nothing too crazily new as we've seen in some other new Nissan products, though I do like the new Nissan badge. We have a remote start function. We can open our trunk as well, so that's pretty nice. And it's really slim still, so it can fit in your pocket. But like I said, we have keyless access on all four doors, which is really nice, so I can just press that button. It unlocks. We have power folding mirrors with a turn signal repeater on here, and it's part of our camera systems. But let's hop inside now. Again, really nice sounding door thunk on this all-new Armada. I'm a big fan of that. Let's hop inside. It's getting a little windy. Again, nice seam treatment on these door panels. Over here, we have some Klipsch speakers over here, which are quite nice. And it's a really, really nice, well-built, premium-feeling cabin that feels luxury stepped down, not the other way around. So let's turn on this vehicle here. We have a nice stop-start button. And our all-new Armada comes to life. Okay, guys, so what are we looking at in this vehicle here? So, all new stuff here. If you looked at previous Armadas, this is obviously completely different. If you've been in the new QX80 or seen reviews on that, you may see quite a lot of familiar things because this essentially is a QX80, just kind of level down a spec. But honestly, that is not a bad thing. This car is so well put together. Everything is very, very solid. There are nice soft touch materials absolutely everywhere in here, and it feels premium. It feels heavy, dense. It feels like you've spent your money's worth in this car. And that was one thing that really impressed me this week is Nissan put money into this vehicle. I can tell you that. Love this steering wheel. It has a really nice feeling leather on it, actually. We also have some nice orange cross stitching on there, orange accents, and if you're familiar with the newer style Nissan infotainment system stuff, nice buttons over here. These are not haptic buttons, they're real buttons. We have a Pro Pilot Assist system over here, and on our right hand side is this little bit of a mildly complicated way to control both of these screens from the steering wheel, but we'll get into that in just a second. This particular Armada is getting the dual 14+ inch screens over here. Base levels do not get these giant screens. They're just a little bit smaller, but I think these are perfectly fine because this is exactly what you get in the all-new Infiniti QX80. Though we don't get a heads-up display on this particular Armada Pro 4X. I think that would actually be something that I would like to see, though. I really have no complaints with how big these screens are. Easy access to control our dimmer switches over here. And I have to say the driving commanding position of this car is so pronounced. You have a massive hood, lots of glass all around us, so I really don't have a difficult time driving this vehicle either. So I do like that standpoint as well. Lots of legroom up front over here as well, and these seats are honestly just so incredible. I love how they feel. They fit you like a glove. Nice premium stitching on them. Pro 4X logo up here, and we have a lot of support on the lower area over here, and they're heated and ventilated. And one thing you may notice right in the center console area over here versus something like the new QX80 is we have physical buttons. Thank you, Nissan, for doing this. I love these buttons here. It's way better than that complicated screen they put in the new QX80. We have a nice, simple drive mode selector over here with plenty of drive modes to cycle through, as well as a hill descent control quick switch right there. Our transmission selector is right here in this button format, right out of the QX80, as is this air suspension button and an auto stop start off button. And we have this nice piano key style controls over here for our rear e-diff locker, traction control, as well as 4 low, 4 high, and just keeping it in auto. I like these little kind of lever switches here for our climate system. So we have temperature control, fan control, heated steering wheel, and of course in the infotainment screen here, lots more controls for all of our rest of our climate system stuff. And you see that BioCool here for our rear passengers, that biometric cooling function. A little bit of a gimmick, honestly, but I think it's kind of cool. And yeah, I love this center console screen over here. It's a little bit gloss black plastic, but it's really solid, I have to say. Everything feels quite nice in here, and I love the padding across the whole side of this area, which reveals a whole bunch of a massive storage area over here under this tunnel, which is really nice. And another great thing I like on the new Armada versus the Infiniti QX80 is this entire center console area is much better designed. I love this fan style door over here. Really cool gunmetal accents that goes into the Armada. Script over here of since 1951 for Nissan's heritage. I like that little touch there. Opening this up, this actually feels quite nice to actually open and close. It feels expensive, actually. It doesn't feel cheap. It's like I've experienced in like the all-new Sequoia, for example. A nice big wireless charging mat over here. We also have 2 USB-C ports and 2 big old cup holders. A lot better of a solution than I saw on the QX80 that had these 2 doors which constantly open anytime I move my hand over there. So I like that fix there. Since we have a updated trailing control package, so we can tow up to 8,500 pounds. So this is a trail brake controller. I love this little screen they have over here for, I believe, our brake gain. Kind of cool. And again, the dash design's really nice. Even on the passenger side, we have open pore wood trim over here. Nice design here. It's exclusive to the Pro 4X. And even up here, it's in the same stitched material. very, very nice and expensive feeling. This interior is also giving us a full digital rear view mirror with plenty of adjustment. We can kind of adjust things on if you do choose to, with a whole screen in here, which is pretty cool. But of course, that can be turned into a regular mirror if you are not a fan of that. We also have an interior and exterior dash cam and selfie camera in here, so you can have some fun with that stuff as well. Sunglasses holder up here, some nice LED lights as well, and of course the shades that we can control for our large panoramic glass roof, which thankfully does open. And then we have to get to all the tech in this car, because there is plenty. We have paddle shifters here for our 9-speed automatic gearbox, which actually feel quite nice to the touch, and placement wise I think they're very good. Of course, automatic high beams and headlamps and automatic wipers. And of course, we have steering assist in this particular one, auto brake hold. You really have it all in this all-new Nissan Armada. Now, with these screens, I've talked about this quite a few times on a few other Nissan products and Infiniti products, I would say as well. I like them. They're really nice, big, very clear graphics, and they're well sorted out. So if you have a whole bunch of different things going on, it's nice in a consistent way compared to like a Toyota, for example, which just has stuff all over the place. I think it's a little bit of a messy thing, in my opinion. So hopefully they fix that. But I think this is a great designed screen, because you can actually see it from all different steering wheel angles. We have power steering wheel on this particular one as well, which is quite nice in this Armada, and you can really find a good position that will always work for you. You're not really battling the steering wheel to kind of see stuff in the screen. They even thought about that over here, how these buttons are laid out is it curves with the steering wheel, so I like that thought there. Now we have a few different designs for this center console area, and it's very, very multifunctional. If you've seen other Nissan products, there are so many ways you can kind of lay out the screen here. We have it in the traditional circle view right now, though I can go right over to our screen settings here, customize our display, and then put it back into the more futuristic meter view style, which I personally prefer. So you can kind of go through these different menus here. Let's get out of our settings. And I like this view we have over here. I like this view that we have right here. It's a little bit more cleaner of a design. And of course, you can really make this however you want it. You can have maps up here. You can have Waze up here. You can have Apple CarPlay, Google Maps, whatever map you want up there, it will show up there, which is really cool. I mean, it's really, really quick to kind of cycle through these displays. So I think that's really fun. Now, one thing I'm still not too big of a fan of is this control style here. If you want to control your infotainment screen, basically what you have to do is double press this, and it will bring it over, this cursor over to this screen here. And as you can see, it's now selected. I can move my thumb around and kind of swipe through these things. I can bring it down to this lower bar over here. I can open up Apple CarPlay. I can open up my app drawer, though there's not that many things I can actually kind of control with it. Once I get into the settings of this display, for example, it kind of locks me out. But I think it's improved a little bit over the QX80, which was a prototype vehicle we were in. So it definitely feels a little bit more smoother in its application than it was before, but it definitely takes some getting used to. It kind of replaces like a center drive controller, and if you don't want to touch the screen. So you have that option there, but I think I'd still prefer to just touch this display. And we have plenty of stuff going on in here. I love this kind of sunset theme it's doing. It's around sunset right now. Nice, quick, built-in integrated Google Maps, which is quite nice. This is a Google-based system. We have interior lighting controls. There's no ambient lighting, but we do have some accent light controls over there, which is nice. We also have our dash cam controller over here, so that can pop up. You can see the clear view coming out of there, which is pretty cool. And that's really helpful. If you're in an accident or some other situation, it will always be recording, which is really nice. But of course, you can turn that off if that's not something you want. And one other major feature that I absolutely love about this all-new Armada is its camera system. It is flipping fantastic. Press this little camera button over here, and you get some of the clearest and biggest screen for these cameras I have seen in modern vehicles. This is a great implementation of it. You can also have these kind of side screen displays here, so you can see what's going on with your front wheels, of course, going on in front of the vehicle. We also have a much more panoramic view, and just like on the QX80, I can blow this up so it takes up literally the entire dash. It is so cool, crystal clear. It does work while you're moving as well, and like some very slow speeds for some off-road scenario. I'm not sure how helpful this is, but it is such a wide angle. If you look in front of me, this is seeing that piece all the way down there, and this is like literally all the way down there past my view of sight actually in the car. So it also can be a little bit helpful in some off-road scenarios, which I think is pretty cool. Switch another view though, it's going to bring you back over here. We have our virtual hood. A lot of automakers are doing this now, and a pretty good 360 system, I would say. I'm not too big of a fan of these 360 systems as they don't really show you that much helpful information, but I like the graphics on here. It's really crystal clear, and I like how the Armada is matching the color that we actually have on this particular Armada as well. So pretty good camera systems over here from Nissan, and I like the quick button access for those as well. Some other great things about this interior, like I said, the storage is really fantastic. Center console storage an armrest over here. It's really nice, very, very soft padding. I love Nissan's padding in their vehicles. They know your arm points. So our elbows here are gonna have some nice padding, and these door cards are just so soft, squishy, but still have some nice support. So if you wanna rest your arm here, or even up here, this is nice, soft padded. So they really did think about that here. Opening up this center console storage over here, we have a nice big button to do so. We have nice felt line. This is very Infiniti-esque once again. We have a little tray console over here, but it gets way deeper over here. A nice interior illumination for there, though no charge ports in that center console as far as I can see. That would one thing to be nice to see. And of course, if you go for the QX80, you can get like a fridge in here too, which is kind of cool, but honestly eats up some of your interior console storage space. We also do have a locking glove box over here, which is pretty decent size actually, and I'm happy they still have it as a locking functionality. A lot of automakers are moving away from that. Nice big mirrors up here, of course, to help you kind of block the sun in some conditions here. It's big enough and it works to do so. Let's see if it slides back. It does. Great sun blocking capability there, and I like the LED light up there. And I also like how Nissan included a grab handle for the driver as well as the front passenger. Some automakers don't actually do that for our driver, just give it to the front passenger. But otherwise, guys, this is a fantastic interior. This is a pretty boring color combo, I would say. You know, this is what you're going to be getting for the Pro 4X trims, but if you go for like a Platinum Armada or another one, you're going to get some other fun colors in here. And I have to say, it's comfortable. It has a great driving position. The tech works. We have a lot of physical buttons, and it feels incredibly premium for this class of vehicle. I think this is better built than some of the American competition. I'm just going to say it right there. Okay, guys, let's go have a tour of the third row now of this all-new Nissan Armada and see how much room we actually have back here, and can you fit an adult? First test here is opening up our doors. One great thing I will point out is we have keyless access on all 4 doors, which is a really nice touch, actually, and the door closing sound is really, really good. Have a listen to this. Really solid. I like that. That actually sounds really good. It actually sounds better than the QX80's doors, I think, because those had the pop-out door handles. But opening up the doors here, we're going to see we have a pretty nice wide opening, actually. It isn't a full 90-degree angle, I would say this door goes out to, but I would say plenty of space. It's a nice, tall, and wide amount of space as well. But let's go see how we get into the third row and if I can fit back there. Now, getting into the third row of the Armada, of course, we can open our door and we're going to find a whole bunch of our controls all in our seats. A lot of manual controls, but of course, we can actually fold these seats down, release them down via a button in the trunk. Now, this is with this seat's pretty far up, so we're going to have a little bit of a less leg space back here. But for this test, I'm going to move this back just a little bit. And to get into the third row, you pull this little latch back here, and the entire bench just comes forward like this, and will also slide forward as well, which is quite nice. And you can see we have 2 steps in here to get into the Armada. Let's see if the seatbelt has a clip. It does have a clip over here, so I can actually just clip it back there to keep it out of the way. So now we have a nice big opening. Hopping inside, it really is not too difficult. Getting back here, these seats are really comfortable. Let's see if we can put these seats down, slide them back, and locked in place. And that second row has pretty good legroom, and I can fit back here. Am I super comfortable? I would say this front row would have to bump up just a little bit, but I have my own cup holders back here, as well as my own USB-C port, and I can actually fold and recline my third row seat right here. So I'm actually power reclining my third row back here like this, just to prove it to you guys via this button, so I can increase my space automatically back here. Headroom isn't too bad, and we actually have our own air vents up here in the roof, as well as grab handles and a little bit of a nice LED light. Though you will know that the panoramic roof doesn't go all the way back here, which I think is totally fine, but we do have these really nice big rear windows to make it feel nice and airy and roomy in here. And honestly, getting out isn't too difficult as well. I can just pop this seat forward again, have it slide forward. I like how everything is nice and covered. We have nice premium carpeting in this particular Armada Pro 4X as well with the premium package. Getting out, again, like I said, isn't that difficult. We have limited, I would say, grab handle area. It would be nice to have like a grab handle over here, but honestly, this works as a grab handle. So let's get out, and voila, that easy. And then you can just slide your seats right back into place and lock them in, and you're good to go. Now, what about our second row passengers? Well, on the door card over here, really nice materials, all nice premium soft touch, big door cards down here, so we can store some nice big cups or mugs in here, which I like. We have a power window switch and some of our Clips branded audio speakers back here, which actually sound quite good. Let's hop inside though, because I am a huge fan of these seats. They're awesomely designed and really comfortable. Really nice solid thunk of these doors. I think that has to do with the increased stiffness of this new platform. Wow, this is a nice interior. We have nice pockets behind our seats over here and an insane amount of legroom. I think I could actually get more. Now, this is the furthest these seats go back, but I can slide up forwards to give my third passengers a little bit of legroom, and I still have plenty of room. I have so much foot space underneath here, and honestly, lots of knee room. I still have like an inch of knee room there, and lots of kind of lateral space to move around, which I quite like. We have our own climate system back here, so we have heated rear seats, and since this one is Infinity derived, we actually have the biometric cooling. So this can scan passengers back here and adjust the temperature based on their body temperature, which is crazy. We have two USB-C ports back here, as well as a traditional cigarette style outlet. No center console storage over here, though we do have a armrest that folds down over here. Nice plush, really nice feeling, and two big cup holders over here for you, which is cool. And again, the door cards can definitely fit cups in them. We don't have any sort of rear privacy shade back here. I think that's totally fine of an omission, but these seats are awesome. I love the design on them. It almost has like this Titan-esque logo to it from the Nissan Titan pickup truck, which is being discontinued, though. Nice Pro 4X badge, which is stitched into the headrest over here, and the seats themselves are super comfortable. Lots and lots of cushion, lots of support, lots of bolstering all around. I'm a huge fan of these, and all of these seats back here can recline individually. Even this center row seat can recline via this little pull switch here. I can pull it back. Look at that. That's so cool. Of course, this chair can recline, and mine can recline as well via this little lever back here. It goes pretty far back, so you can kind of relax back here if you really don't have anyone in that third row. But this is a great place to haul kids around, to haul your pets around, throw them in the trunk. They can have some pet cages back there. And we have this giant panoramic glass roof, which thankfully these second row passengers can take advantage of, because it goes all the way back here, and that allows us to have so much headroom space back here. So huge fan of this interior. I would like to see an all-weather format, though of course that's probably an option that we don't have, though. These have these upgraded premium carpets, which I actually quite like. They actually feel very Infinity-esque in that sense. But I would definitely spend a nice road trip time back here. I have a grab handle hook, nice commanding view of both the road and on the side of me. I have my own air vents up here. I'm set and ready to go. Open up this trunk area over here. Nice beeps it gives us. Fully powered tailgate, of course, and in the back of the Armada, you will find a third row. Yes, this thing has a full third row of vehicles, and it's not just a 2-passenger third row. This is a 3-passenger third row vehicle, so you can fit 3 people back here, as well as 3 people in the second row. So you have plenty of cargo capacity to haul people around in this all-new Armada. And the best thing about this particular one is that we have power folding seats back here, so you already are getting a decent amount of cargo space behind the third row, which I actually quite like. There is a little bit of a large lip area over here from where the trunk area ends and from where the bumper actually ends, but since that vehicle gets so low, I don't think it's too difficult to put things in and out. Though we do have this button array over here, which is really nice, and that will allow you to either lower the air suspension or lower these third row or second row seats via the button, which is a fantastic feature, especially if you want to haul things back there pretty quickly. And it works decently fast, not the fastest power operated third row seats, but I think it's quite nice. You're getting some nice Pro 4X carpeting back here, which is also a cool little touch. And pop open this little area, you're gonna find a little bit more extra storage, though not too much stuff. We do have a AC outlet back here if you want to plug some things in, but really nice trunk area, I have to say. In folding all these seats down, you're getting a pretty decent amount of cargo space. And you know, since it's not like a luxury lux-up vehicle like an Infiniti QX80, I'm not going to be worrying about damaging and, you know, super more expensive leather seats and stuff. This interior feels more durable than that vehicle. And while we're out here, let's do an audio test with this Clips audio system. And funny enough, this is actually a similar system. I would just say like a reduced system from the one that you find in the QX80. This is an upgraded version on the Armada lineup. This is a higher end audio system, but if you compare it to the QX80, it's a more luxury sibling. It's honestly not that bad. It's a pretty good system. I would say it's comparable to like some Harman Kardon systems, but let's press play, have a listen here. Just a quick little audio test there for you guys. I think this is a pretty generally good speaker system. Nothing really outstanding, but it's honestly really rich in its sound, just throughout all different tones. You have a decent amount of adjustment here in the infotainment system. Nothing too intense, no special, you know, like clips audio modes or something. But overall, I think it's pretty nice of an experience. Just a nice whole sounding experience. The only difference I would say, if you go to that upgraded clips system in the QX80, it has more of that surround sound effect, especially with those speakers in the headrest, literally right behind your head. So that's able to have a little more of that effect there. Though this is a really good system. Actually, it kind of blows some other luxury cars bass systems out of the water, actually, if I'm going to be completely honest.